Hey guys, it's Dan Waldschmidt here. I'm so excited to bring you a really special guest today. I've got Fahad Kogar, and he's not just from Brooklyn, New York City, right? He's actually halfway around the world in a massive country with I think it's almost a billion people in Pakistan. Hey Fahad.
Hey Dan, how are you? Thank you.
So tell us where you're at in Pakistan.
I'm in Sargodha. It's a small city in Punjab, in Pakistan.
And
Not much famous, but it's a very significant city of Pakistan. Yeah.
So tell me, we know we lump Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, we lump everything together as unfortunately, on this side of the world, I guess. But tell us, you and I met not too long ago, and we've been talking about what you're doing, inspiring entrepreneurs in Pakistan, and it's really cool. Before you get to
Sure.
that, tell us a little bit about where you've been, what you've done, and bring us up to speed on all things Fahad.
Okay. I am actually an electrical engineer. I was expected to become a professional electrical engineer, but I accidentally become a writer. Okay. I was graduated in 2012 and I served job everywhere in Pakistan. I also went to Dubai, but I nowhere get my first break. I struggled and struggled, and I went into the phase of being dismayed. But then gradually I developed myself. I tried to create one of my own chance in freelancing. I started this thing in 2015. I worked on a platform called Fiverr. I worked there as a research and content writer, and I've been working there for more than 3 years now. And 1 year ago, I started training people on freelancing. So the moment I started, I saw a massive interest of people in this specific field. So right now, I have trained more than almost 2,600 people in this specific field, and they are right now earning very well. So
So
that
this
is
is
pretty much me.
this is fascinating. Thanks for sharing that, Fahad. And am I pronouncing it right still, Fahad?
Yeah, it's okay. If you are pronouncing it very well.
It's funny. Before we hit the go button, I was mentioning to all of you watching, to Fahad, you would think that in my business with a million fans on Facebook and kind of going around the world talking to people on stages, I butcher names a lot. I don't mean to, and I try not to be offensive, but I just butcher their name. But this is not about me. Why I wanted to interview Fahad, you can immediately tell right now, right? Because here he is, supposed to be an electrical engineer, right?
Yeah.
That's his thing. And instead of being an electrical engineer, what's he doing? He's teaching other people how to make money as entrepreneurs. He calls it freelancers. I think when we talked on the phone, you said how to get a side hustle. So I think this is really amazing. Tell me about the 2,600 people that you've trained. Who are these?
Yeah.
Business executives? What sort of people are these?
Our targeted segment is extremely diverse. Actually, because I suffered this dilemma of unemployment, so my actual targeted audience was those Pakistani boys and girls who were facing this problem of being unemployed, who do not have much money to support their financial needs. So one thing is all those fresh graduated people from colleges and universities. Secondly, I targeted all those guys who were working in offices and were quite annoyed of all that office politics, and they also could not meet their financial needs. So I encouraged them to focus on their secondary stream of income. Okay, we are advocating this thing. And we are also targeting the housewives who are educated and who have ample time after the household work. So we are targeting everyone. We have a very basic criteria that if you know basic written English and if you have a laptop, if you have a computer, If you can communicate well, and if you have a little bit fire in your belly, then you can earn money online. Yeah.
So that's of course very key, right? The fire in the belly. If you don't have a fire in the belly, you can't make money online. What's cool about this is that, sometimes I think, and this sounds dumb, but I'll tell you honestly, sometimes I feel like, man, I'm a warrior out here. I'm fighting to inspire people. I'm pushing limits. And until we engaged not too long ago, met each other, here you are on the other side of the world doing the exact same thing, helping people who want to change their lives. And it's just, I'm blown away by what you're doing, dude. I'm a big fan. I love it.
Thank you, Dan.
So tell me about this training you do. Tell me more about this in depth, because you're helping educated moms. You're helping. We call those in the United States often mompreneurs.
Mompreneurs.
Do you have a name like that in Pakistan?
No, we don't have any name like that. We convert entrepreneurs into entrepreneurs. Yeah, that's what we actually do. We discourage all those entrepreneurs who want to become rich overnight. There's nothing like the overnight success. Anyhow, you were asking me about the training that I do. It is a 1-week training that we do. We gather all the people from all over Pakistan, from United States as well, from England as well, from Sri Lanka, from UAE and Saudi Arabia. Okay, whoever who can understand our mother language, we get him and we enroll him in our course. I have crafted 7 to 8 different lectures on freelancing, and there is a platform, big platform, Israeli platform. It's called Fiverr, where I train people that how they can develop their profile, how they can make their gigs over there, how they can optimize so they can get better and better in the search results of the buyers. So we train people on this thing, actually. It's a simple.
What's interesting, Fahd, and this is just, it's awesome. It's awesome. Is that I've used Fiverr before to get work done, and I've actually reused the same people enough times where I've emailed them directly and said, hey, can I just hire you? Is there some way I can just hire you directly? We'll pay you through PayPal or something to just keep working for me. Like, nothing wrong with Fiverr, but can I keep hiring you? And it's pretty cool. The number of people
illegitimate.
Yeah.
I always tell my students not to do this thing, not to ask for any conversation outside Fiverr. They are becoming more and more mature day by day, like us. So these type of con games are not going to work anymore on these platforms.
Oh yeah. Well, no. What I mean is, I wasn't actually trying to, go outside the platform, because I actually like how they have everything set up. What I meant was, some of the workers that I've hired have been so good, so reliable, that I say, can I offer you a full-time job? Or can I offer you a more part-time job, right? Not just, can you edit this picture? Can you write up some copy? Can I give you a job? And so, I think, teaching, people how to start their own business and make money is great. And the possibilities are endless. There's so many good opportunities for this.
Definitely. True that.
So what empowered you to just talk to me about what empowered you to say, I'm going to go help people make money, figure this out. What inside you qualified you to do that? Or not qualified, but you know what I mean? Empowered you to do that.
Okay. I won't say that it was my dream. It all just happened by accident. I think God has this plan for me to become a helping hand for people. I really didn't plan this. I mentioned earlier that there is a very big name of a business strategist named Mr. Ashraf Chaudhry in Pakistan. So I messaged him on Facebook on his page, which is almost comprised of 1.1 million fans. So I messaged him that I've been struggling for more than 2 years and I didn't get the job. So I eventually started doing freelancing. And there was a question that I was asking, but he overlooked that question and he asked me, how much are you earning? I told him that this much figure that I'm earning. And he actually asked me to meet him, and we both got together and we cracked a deal out of it. We made a business plan and we started doing marketing of this business, and eventually it tripped in a blink. So far we are very successful in that. So if I tell you the truth, it wasn't a planned venture. It all happened by accident.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? I can't tell you the number of times where I've been successful while failing. You know, it's like I have a plan. I'm so determined. I even get angry because my plan's not working. And then I look back on it 3 months, 4 months, 5 months down the road and go, wait a minute. I'm actually doing something that's fulfilling. It makes me happy. And I never thought I would be here, right? I was planning to, my goal, my plan was to do this other thing. You know, if you would have found a job right away and been happy, it's likely you would have never been able to do this.
Definitely.
So what are some lessons that if I'm, coming to one of your sessions, if I'm going to a week-long session, which by the way, that's very impressive that you're pulling people into a week-long session of training. Many people that I speak to can't, they get frustrated if they have to sit through a day of training, right? They're very, very frustrated. But I think maybe that's that fire in the belly. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's one or two of the things, not the tactical things on Fiverr and speaking English, what are some like the mindsets? What are some of those things that you teach that you see really being necessary?
Okay, what we call the fire in the belly, it is actually the motivation. We have to understand what is this actually thing is. I work a lot on this thing whenever I get enrolled many students of mine in my session. I motivate them. Motivation is actually a state of mind, and it's not something, it is a state of mind. One cannot say that a certain person, he's always motivated. We get demotivated sometimes, some get motivated sometimes, okay? So it is just a state of mind. I plan my student to get motivated for this small span of 7 days, okay? So there are some internal and external factors that always attacks on them to get demotivated. I just target on all those external factors. They could be, sometimes they are internal and sometimes they are external, okay? So if I talk about the internal factors which actually which actually attack on them to get demotivated in online earning, is their beliefs. Most of the people believe that they would get rich overnight, okay? They are impatient, which I think it is within the instinct of every human that he always wants the result very abruptly within a day, within a few months or so. So I just clarify this thing then that there is nothing like overnight success. The online earning is not a thing that you will open a tap and the dollars will start falling from it like water. It's literally not like that. So first of all, I focus on all these internal beliefs which keep them from being motivated. Secondly, there are the major external factor which makes them demotivated is their experience and the people around them. The people around them who always tell them that how can you do this? Nobody has ever done that. How could you be successful in all that stuff? It's all sorry to say, it's all bull. It's all that. Okay. So they discourage people like this. I often say them that you should keep your ears closed, remove negative people from your life. You will feel relaxed. I ask them that you are doing freelancing on your laptop. If you want to keep your laptop healthy, you will install an antivirus in that, obviously. So this is a priceless machine, bro. This is a priceless machine. Remove negative people from your life. Kill all those viruses. You will feel relaxed. Okay, freelancing, online earning, or any venture in the world, it cannot be done overnight. Okay, you have to be patient. You have to be persistent. That's
wow. Wow. I'm inspired just listening to you. Seriously. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
love that analogy. I may have to borrow that. You put an antivirus on your computer, but what are you doing to keep your head
Yeah.
straight? I think that's brilliant. That's just great. You know, I told someone last night, Fahad, that I'm impatient. Me, that's one of my
Okay.
problems. I am not patient. I want big things. I want big goals. I have big dreams, and I want them now. And like I'm willing to work for it, but you're right. It takes time. It takes. There's things that you can't change. It takes time to get to where you want to be. You talked about some of these, the belief systems. One of the things I do to try to keep my head straight is I'll use like brain.fm or something to play calming music or focus music so that, and I guess you could go to Spotify. What's the Spotify for Pakistan? Is it also Spotify or is it something else? Like, what's the
Sorry,
music? What music do you listen to?
What music do you listen?
Calming sounds.
Okay. We always, most of the times we are listening to classical music of our traditions that we have. But most of the times the Indian music is very much lagged in Pakistan. So these are the trends normally.
Yeah. So where do you see things go wrong? That's a question I like to ask all my expert friends. When someone comes to your seminar and they're like, Fahad, I'm struggling, I'm trying really hard, but it's not working. And you help kind of pull apart the layers of the onion. Where do you see things going wrong?
Most of the times there is a problem in their strategy. Okay, I asked them how are they implementing what the steps that I told them, whether they are actually working on them or not. I ask them. Most of the time, I find I dissect their strategy and work out the problem in that, and then rectify it that way. And sometimes once again I see that people get frustrated very earlier that they're not getting. I always say them, yeah. Nobody on this earth can tell that when you are going to get the result. Nobody on this earth can say. In the terminology of Malcolm Gladwell, the tipping point that we always say, nobody can ever tell that when the tipping point is going to come. I've seen some of your motivational talks in recent days, and I see that you read Bible a lot. So you use Bible to motivate them. So I give them some many references from Quran, from the stories of our prophet, that he struggled for almost 10 years to get the results. Okay, so it's never ever gonna happen that you will get the results within a few months. I always say that if the 10 years has passed, then you have the right to say that things are not working for me.
So in a sense, if I hear you correctly, and it's almost a deeply spiritual process or experience. It's almost, you're connecting, Muhammad and Jesus and the Bible and Quran, all together to say, because all of our great prophets, every great religious leader, everyone, there's a story in the Bible about Jesus going into the wilderness where he fasted for 40 days and no food or water. And then he had a great challenge ahead of him. And
it's in Quran as well. The same story is in Quran as well. Yeah.
So I love how simplistically you're delivering this. But let me just ask you a question about me, somewhat selfishly. So I've got these. I'm impatient. I've got 1 million people on Facebook, right, and fans, but I want 1 million people inside my group, right, learning and growing and helping each other. That's what I want. I see this community of people that just help and support and are accountable to each other. Is my mindset then that since I don't know when I'm going to be successful, I just need to keep driving forward, keep doing the right things? How do I know the difference between the wrong strategy and just needing more time?
Both the things are working together, Dan. Sometimes your strategy is wrong, and sometimes you are impatient. Okay, if
All the time I'm impatient. But yes.
Well, you have to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Whenever I have to convince someone, okay, I learned this strategy from Aristotle. Aristotle. He says that there are only three modes of persuasion. These are ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay, you can persuade a person through ethical appeal, through logical appeal, and the emotional appeal. Okay, uh, if you know what I mean, do I need to
Yeah.
explain all these things? Okay.
I'm sitting here going, tell me more.
Okay,
Dig into
okay,
it.
okay. I'm digging into it. Okay, so these are three modes of persuasion: ethos, pathos, and logos. The first thing is that you have to create an emotional appeal in whatever you are delivering. Okay, you have to motivate them by putting some spiritual and emotional example, like what I just told you earlier. Okay,
Yeah.
the second thing is that you have to tell them logically. Okay, you have to persuade them through some logical way. Okay, so that the things are not like that, they will be done like that. You have to wait for it. Things are not going to work for you within a blink. You have to wait for that. Okay, you have to bring some logics to persuade yourself, to satisfy yourself. You have to work on your own. You are your only teacher. And the third most important thing is that the personal appeal, the pathos, which I call pathos. We always get persuaded. We always get convinced from the people who have this authority of who have how should I put this? Who have a vast experience. Okay, that we always believe in whatever they say. Okay, no, you being you are a speaker, I'm also a speaker. If you will say something that would have a different impact on people, and if I will use your same words, people might not have the same impact because you have the better pathos, you have the better personal appeal than me. You have 1 million fans and nobody knows me in America. Okay, so these are the two different things. I think you should seek all these three things: the ethos, pathos, and logos. I don't know if
Say that one more time. What? Say those three again.
Ethos, pathos, and logos. These are the three things that I'm saying.
What's the first one? Atolls?
Ethos,
Yeah.
ethical appeal; pathos, personal appeal; logos, logical appeal.
So are those Greek? Is that Greek words?
Greek. These are the Greek words.
Yeah, Greek word. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. At first I thought you said apples, and I thought apples. Well, I enjoyed a good apple.
Not apple. This is a this is a problem of pronunciation. Yeah.
So,
I will also take the liberty of saying things wrong.
No. It's fantastic. By the way, I have really enjoyed spending this time with you, and I'm sure everyone watching is learning a lot. So I've got the Edgy Empire of Awesomeness group. I'm sure you're going to jump in there. We'll see you there.
Yeah,
I'm eager to profile you there and share more of this there. You talked about this emotional appeal. Then, I went to seminary. Most people in the community know that. I went to become a minister, a preacher, evangelist, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's amazing how people are completely driven by their beliefs. Whether you agree with them or not, you may say, oh, that someone's belief is crazy, but it doesn't matter because that's their belief. So if you have beliefs that are stopping you from being successful, maybe you believe, I don't know enough to go launch my side hustle. Maybe your belief, I'm not a person who's supposed to have money because I screw it up. There's a lot of negative beliefs that people have. How have you been able to help people reprogram their beliefs? How do you change that belief? Is there a process or I don't want to say a shortcut because I don't like shortcuts, but what is it? What way do you recommend that people can change those negative beliefs that are stopping them?
Okay. It's a very simple formula. Unfreeze, modify, and freeze. Simple. First of all, I motivate them to forget whatever you have learned. Whatever you have learned in your schools is a trap. Whatever you have learned from your teachers is a trap. Okay. You learn all those things to get all those grades. Okay, so the purpose of all that what you have learned is done. You have got your degrees, you have graduated from college. Just
Wow.
forget about all that. Whatever you have learned from other entrepreneurs, just forget about that. You have to listen whatever I am saying. So first thing that I do, that I ask them to erase the entire blackboard of yours. Okay, then I put my philosophy in their mind. I motivate them that these are the footsteps to which you can become successful. Okay, I always motivate them to get a role model. You know,
Yeah.
in the countryside of Pakistan, whenever there was some event of theft or there were some robbers in someone's house, we used to track the footsteps. We used to track the footprints of the robbers to track the robbers. So we motivate them. If we can catch a robber through this strategy, why can't we crash? Why can't we catch a successful person through this strategy? Okay.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? There's a very famous Tony Robbins. I don't know if he's come to Pakistan or not, but very famous motivation who says, "Follow the clues of successful people. Follow the
Follow the
clues."
clues.
And
Follow
you're
the
saying
clues.
follow the footsteps. So I like it. I like it.
Follow the footsteps. I've been whatever content I'm saying, I do not claim rights of it. I've also learned this from my teachers.
Yeah.
Many things are copied, to tell you the truth.
Look, listen.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
I think it was
Nothing.
Picasso. Picasso who said,
Nothing is bestowed on me.
Yeah,
Nothing.
no. I often say it's the same people. While I'm running, I'll listen to a lot of books on my phone, books on tape and things like this. And I tell people, listen, no one is inventing. This is not new. This is and that's good because if it's new and trendy, there's a chance that it can blow up. But there are timeless principles. You were talking about Muhammad, and I was talking earlier about Jesus and success. And there are timeless principles that regardless of what year it is, whether it's Facebook or Snapchat or whatever it is, that work. So sorry, I cut you off earlier. You were saying, I said, how do you erase beliefs? You said you tell them, you wipe the blackboard clean, then you put new beliefs in. How do they maintain those beliefs, not revert back to the old belief system?
That is the tricky part, because you always have to keep yourself motivated. Okay, one always have to, the persistence. Persistence is not an innate talent or some innate ability of a person. You always have to nurture it each and every day. You are an athlete, right? You are an athlete. Whenever we plan to start an exercise, we take initiative. The problem is that we fail to maintain it. Okay, we do it just one day. The next day we will go to running. The third day we will go to running. The fourth day we will feel all those cramps in our bodies, and which will force us to. That is the point. That is the point where you have to motivate them. Okay, I say them that you have to start working on your motivation, not from the first day. I say them to start them from the third or second day. Okay, that is the moment. The moment when your motivation is going to die, you have to feed yourself with the dose of motivation. And there are many ways to do that. You can do that by telling several motivational stories. You can tell them by acknowledging the strength those guys possess. So there are multiple ways to do that. Yeah.
So this is really amazing. This is powerful content because. We in our busyness and sophistication, we forget that at the very basic level, our soul needs to get fed. Our soul needs food, our mind, our inspiration. I often say from a stage, inspiration or motivation, whichever you want to put, is the one thing you lose just after you stop looking for it. And the moment you go, I'm all good. I don't need any more of this stuff. And in our country right now, in the United States, there's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of people who are speaking out angrily at rallies, and I've thought about, how do you help people who are angry? How do you help people who are frustrated? Is love or compassion even possible when people are that angry?
First of all, I say them that this is not an abnormal thing to become angry. Actually, it is a very positive sentiment that if you get angry, then you are a lucky person. I have seen many people who never ever get angry. They say that our life is normal. No, they are literally not normal people. Okay, you have to put. I asked whoever becomes angry within a blink, taking things in a fit of anger. I asked them to accumulate all this anger and put all this energy into positive things. You know, you must have seen many people to whom you have said that you can't do this thing, you can't do this thing. They get aggressive. Why? How dare you? How you said that? And they just deliver the thing. They do it literally. They do it in anger. Okay, they put all this energy in a positive way. Okay, you have to. What should I? They have to. You have to channelize this energy to use this on the positive thing. Okay, so I always ask them to do it that way. That it is absolutely normal. It is absolutely normal, but you have to put this into something positive.
But, and I agree with you. How do you? I guess they have to be willing to listen first, right? They have to be willing to try to do that.
If they've come to me, then what does it mean? They are willing to change themselves, definitely. If they are not willing to change themselves, why would they come to me? Simple as that.
Yeah, that's a very powerful question. Why are you here? What are you expecting?
Why are you here?
Yeah. What are you expecting if you're not going to change, if you're not going to grow, if you're not going to be a better version of yourself? So what do you do, Fahad? By the way, I found you on Facebook. I friended you. I'm going to invite you to our Facebook community. It's now official that you are in the club.
Thank you, sir.
What do you do to keep yourself motivated? Do you have a routine? I talk to some people, they do meditation, they do yoga, I go running, and things like that. What do you do to keep yourself motivated and inspired on a daily basis?
The dose of motivation is different for different people, Dan. Okay. I keep myself motivated by listening to the success stories of my students. I think that is the real dose of motivation for me. Okay. But if you talk about routine, to tell you the truth, I am a freelancer. I do not have any routine. I do not get Monday blues because everything is Monday for me. I work 24 hours. I work every day. There is no holiday. Okay. So the real dose of motivation for me is to concentrate on my work so that I could get more and more people get successful. Whenever I see them being succeeded and whenever they relate their success to me, I get motivated. That is the only thing that I do.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So I feel the same way. I tell people when I stop working, it's either to take a break so I can go to sleep or so I can go running or something like that. But really, it's all about the what I'm passionate about. Fahad, tell me about, do you have a family, wife, kids, girlfriend? Tell me, or are you just, your work is your work is the only thing?
That is a question I always avoid. I'm not married yet. There is a dilemma of Pakistan that they do not actually understand what a freelancer is. Okay, so whenever a marriage proposal comes, they ask me, son, what do you actually do? I tell them that I am a freelancer. They say, what? A freelancer. So they say, okay, so do you work for free? No, I say, no, I do not work for free. I get paid for my service. And then you should be called as a paid lancer, isn't it? So the things like that are there.
That's funny. Are you a paid lancer?
Yeah, you're a paid lancer. Why you call yourself a freelancer? These are things like that. So whenever a marriage proposal comes, they put the things like that. Okay, so I'm not married yet. I do not have a family. Okay, but very soon I will be getting married. I will be having a life, inshallah.
So you can say I'm the I'm the CEO of Kokar Industries or something like this, right? That's really what it is. I mean, you've started your own company. And you've got two angles. One, you do the work, and then two, you teach how other people to do the work. So it's a fascinating business model. Well, look, this has been a fantastic discussion. I'm very excited I could grab you. And I'm excited to have you inside our community where you can share more about this and, bring more people who are motivated and looking for inspiration on a daily basis. I'm very excited. Thank you for spending some time with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Where can we find you? Obviously, you're on Facebook. I found you pretty easily. Do you have a website? Do you have where do you shine the light?
My website is currently under construction. It will be live within a week. For right now, you can only find me on Facebook.
Well, that's okay, because I found you quite easily. I just searched for Fahad Khokar. You can see the name right there at the bottom of your screen. Khokhar. It's really easy. Popped right up. And I saw Mr. Ashraf Chowdhury as well popping up. So that's pretty amazing. So any one last bit, one nugget of awesomeness you just have to leave? Like, what's that one thing you've been thinking about that, like, this has really changed my life? I need one more nugget from you before I let you go. What is that, Fahad? Okay.
Let me tell you my philosophy of being successful. Okay. Whenever people ask me that how we can be successful as you, I ask them to achieve only two things in your life. Only two. Okay. The first thing is that you get the appreciation of your honest critics. Okay. And the second thing is that you should earn at least one person who says that I lived a good life just because of you, only one. Then I would say that you are a successful person.
So number one, you earn the respect of your honest critics.
Honest critics. And second thing is that you, at least one person should have lived a better life just because of it.
Wow. So that's awesome.
Just one, not two, just one.
That's awesome. So I think that's, like, if there were a mic, I would have to drop it, right? That's awesome. Thank you, Fahad, for sharing time with us. And I look forward to having you in the community and just, it's amazing. So I love what you're doing. I'm a big fan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.